Welcome to Tech Notice, my friends. So in this video, we're going to be checking out this system over here. I know it looks a little bit confusing, but basically what this is called is Cineeye PRO wireless video transmitting system. It's very similar to Hollyland Mars 400S, but I think this one is slightly better and cheaper. So we're going to be looking into that. So I have checked out the Hollyland Mars 400. If you haven't seen that video on my channel, this was very impressive. This system I'm actually using in the church where there's two screens on the stage and the HDMI cable wasn't long enough to transmit the actual presentation to the screens. So actually I'm using this Hollyland transmitter in there where it transmits from the computer, from the graphics card, goes out and then sends it straight away to the other side, then on the stage where there's a splitter, and then it splits the two screens, which is very helpful in that type of thing because latency doesn't really matter over there. So this one over here is a little bit of a pro version, and it's slightly bigger than the Hollyland Mars 400S. So we're going to be looking into what can it do. So basically, in essence, it's a similar thing, but this one also has 2.5 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz range of transmitting. So whichever range is more stable, or if there's any interference on one, it can switch. Now the range for this is 1,200 feet, which is roughly around 350 meters. So the range is what they are actually advertising is very impressive. Now the range is not the same when you're with a phone, because the phone transmission range is much less, up to I think third of the actual range, because over the Wi-Fi or however it works, it is not as good. As you can see on the table over here, this is the receiver and that is connected to this monitor, and as you can see, this is actually this angle, so it might be a little bit trippy over there. On live you can see that this is how it works. It's sending out the signal from the camera to this transmitter and then it's received over here, and then you can do that. Now basically this system is for people who are looking to give the monitor to the actual decision makers or directors or clients who can just sit on the side and they're not just peeking over the cameraman's shoulder and saying, oh, can you change that, what's this all about, it's not that. Just go and sit over there. And even if you don't have a monitor to give you physically like that, take your phone and just download this app, connect to this, and then you can see it. In fact, put your headphones on and you can actually listen to the sound as well, which is very impressive. So with this one transmitter over there, you can connect up to 4 devices. So you can either go and buy separately 4 of these receivers and then connect with 3 different monitors, and that is completely fine. The set comes with 1 of them. If you want extra, you'll have to buy them extra. You can also connect 1 receiver and 3 mobile phones, tablets, whether it's iOS or Android devices, any of these can be connected for at the same time. The video signal is either H.264 or H.265 signal that is up to 1080p 60 frames per second. So it doesn't transfer 4K signal, but your camera can still record 4K signal, if you know what I mean. Now the cool thing is that the app actually has quite a lot of assist features as well, like focus peaking. So it makes the phone into a very professional monitoring app. There's loads of different focus, just monitoring assist features in there. As you can see over there, you can add loads of different ones as well, which is just very, very impressive. Now, the only kind of weird side about this is that I don't know why would you use that as your phone. So you'd have to mount your phone on your camera as well at the same time, or on the side, or trying to use your phone as the focus pulling, but that doesn't really work when we're going to talk into the latency. You'll see in a moment. But the app itself is very impressive, works very well. I've got no issues with the connectivity. Connection was easy. You can put your LUTs in there if you're shooting log like I am at the moment now. You can load your own LUTs or things like that in there, and then see the final image basically, as well as record the screen or the signal that comes in. So basically, as you can see, there's a little record button over there. If I press that, it starts recording, as you can see on the end, on the top over there, and that recording will be sent to your phone storage. Your phone records it, and then later you can listen to it back or whatever. So if directors or clients need to record something or want to put quick video together or post on social media what we're doing, they can do that basically. It's also very low latency, or advertised very low latency at 60 milliseconds, so 0.06 seconds, which is very impressive. But let's talk about some of the downsides now, and then some of the good sides. So we'll talk about the downsides first. One thing is that when you take these out from the box, or however you store them, wherever you take them out from the box, you can't really tell the difference which one is a transmitter and which one is a receiver from just looking at them down in here, because they look completely identical, apart from the transmitter has two HDMI ports on the side, and when you turn to the other side it says transmitter on the side. But if you just open your box and they both look to you like that, just facing upwards, and then you're gonna have to give one to your cameraman and give one to you, you're gonna have to like look around a little bit. It's not as obvious. I guess it was more obvious, you know, that there was like a little TX underneath this logo over here. That would be nice. Another thing that is a little bit confusing is that the receiver also has like a Wi-Fi network. So basically when you connect your phone, there is another network like available there. It says like group 1, but that is actually for this receiver. So you shouldn't be connecting to that. But because you shouldn't be connecting to that, I think it was easier if it just wasn't there, if you know what I mean. When using your phone, like according to my testing, it seems that the phone sometimes has a bit more latency than the receiver or the actual monitor. Now at the moment it's quite equal and it's a little bit the same, but there was an instant where I was like clapping and I was like, whoa, this monitor reaches that a bit faster than the actual phone. So that's that. One of the bad sides also is the latency, and it's kind of isn't the Accsoon's fault of the latency, but even with this very low latency advertised product as 0.06 seconds, it is not actually an ideal product to pull focus on, you know, a very action oriented or very action filled scene, because there is a latency between like the actual monitor and the receiver, and between the camera and the transmitter. So basically even my camera over here, when I'm looking at like the camera monitor and then the upper monitor, even that camera has a little bit of a lag or latency between the image. So that latency is carried on to the transmitter over there, and then the transmitter sends that image over here with hardly any latency, right? But then there's a little bit more latency that comes from the monitor. If you want a very high-end system, you might be looking into some of the cameras obviously have it less and things like that, but if you're just using this for like a mirrorless camera, or depending on your camera basically, there might be a latency that is due to your camera. Now another kind of downside, which I wish they included this for that price range especially, is I wish there was 2 power adapters with it. So if you wanted to plug this in, you can actually plug it in. As you can see, this transmitter over there on that angle, this is actually using the power to plug this. There's no battery in the back. There is a power cable that comes down. You can see from that one over here, that's the power cable over there. And then it just uses TC to power this. I wish there was 2 power adapters that came with it, so both of these devices could be using this. But the good thing is it can actually use 7.4 to 16.8 volt adapters. So basically any adapter that you have for a camera or any device, your Wi-Fi router, anything that has that DC port, just plug it in and it works with this basically. Another downside is there is a massive audio delay on the phone. So when I was doing the testing on the phone, I had a massive audio delay. I put my headphones in, so you know you can listen to the sound, and I'm looking at my image or just myself on the phone screen, and I'm saying something, I can see my mouth moves and I'm stopping, and then I hear the sound. So there was quite a big of a, you know, audio latency. So I don't know, that doesn't work for me quite as well, so I'm a bit confused about that. But let's talk about some of the good sides that I do like. First of all, I love to see the battery percentage on the actual display. This is absolutely fantastic. You usually see these bars like on here. I can see 1 bar left. I have no idea how long this is gonna last, but I know this over here is 14% left, which is fantastic to see battery levels like that. It is just very good, okay? Also, when this is connected to the camera via this USB-C cable, I think that is external interface, so you connect this to the camera. Basically, when this is connected to the camera, it's the same on the transmitter, you can actually have your phone control the camera. So basically you can start and stop recording like your camera by using your phone, which is quite cool as well. So that camera control features come with this as well. but the thing is, your camera needs to have that control feature. Not all cameras can be controlled with this. Also, you need to have a USB-C to whatever camera USB port your camera has, then you can use it, but the cables aren't included in the box. Cool thing is, there is a lot of antennas here, 4 per unit, but it actually comes with 9 just in case you break one. The cool thing I mentioned already before is that you can add LUTs on the app. So if you want to see the final image or let your actual client see the final image, say, okay, I'm going to send you my LUT on email, just download that one, put that in the app, and then you can see what we're shooting, because it isn't actually gray and LUT like it is in now. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, why is it so gray? I'm sorry, but this doesn't quite look a very nice image. Yeah, because it's log and this is how we shoot. Saves you explanation. Another thing is, it is a very nice build quality. It's all just metal, very nice, like all the edges are like kind of tapered or like chrome or like kind of, what's it called? Sanded? It's very nice. There is also a channel control on the side. If you're using multiple of these receivers and transmitters, you can make sure that the channels are all exactly the same and they're not interfering with each other, or very easy channel selection here on the side if you want to do that. One last thing then is, what about this compared to the Hollyland Mars 400S? Which one is different? So this Hollyland Mars 400S costs $50 less, but this is like an entry version, whereas the Cineeye 2 Pro is a Pro version. So this Hollyland is actually smaller. This Accsoon Cineeye is bigger. The Hollyland is maybe 3/4 of the size or even less. So if the small feature is your thing, Hollyland is the best. Hollyland is better for camera mounting as well, because they have like a bracket that allows you to mount this on your camera like sideways, not just facing up like a massive antenna. So if you want to keep your setup small, then Hollyland has a better system to do that. But there is Hollyland Mars 400S Pro version, which is $50 more expensive than this Accsoon Pro version, which is more equal to what we're actually comparing this. But the good side about Hollyland is the same. It is smaller, but the range is less, the latency is more. So if you want something a bit more solid, best bang for buck kind of transmitter, then this is the one. Now, I know this is still a little bit more expensive, like $600, $700. Who would buy this? When you're starting out, it doesn't matter, but there comes a point where you're like, this is an essential thing in your kit when you're doing commercial shoots or doing some client shoots, and you need to just let them be on the side and look at it, or let the director have their own way of looking at the footage. Then this is a perfect option for you, and perfect price actually, because some of the Teradect ones or some more expensive ones are much more expensive, whereas this is in the price range and very affordable. That is my review of this unit. Thanks very much guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like that video, it actually makes a difference. If you have anything else to add, I'll meet you in the comment section below. Thanks guys for watching. Adios.